So I'm gonna talk about Canada Day. I wrote a post on Facebook about this, but I think it's important to like sort of hear it from my face and all that stuff. So there is a lot of people who are going sharing like cancel Canada Day. Canada Day is July 1st, 3 days before America Day. America Day, which I know is not called America Day, but it's our version of July the 4th. It's the celebration of the formation of Canada. 153 years ago, something like that. I don't know. We had the sesquicentennial recently in the last few years. I think it's 153 now, but I could be wrong because time has no meaning in the COVID void. The reasoning behind it is, especially with the recent unearthings of or findings of massive numbers of Indigenous children's remains, maybe it's a little tacky for us to be like, Canada's super awesome. And I agree. I read a really good meme about it, and it basically said, like, if you knew that your neighbor had lost a child and they were having that funeral, would you feel comfortable launching fireworks and partying in your backyard next to him? I would hope the general answer is no, I would not feel okay with that. That would be an asshole move. I'm not going to be that person. But I guarantee you, some people will be like, hell yeah, it's still Canada Day. His dead son's being buried on Canadian soil. He should be goddamn happy. Fine. I get it. Some people are garbage. Indigenous communities in Canada, across Canada, are suffering and they are bracing for more. Because again, 1,300 plus bodies have been found from 5 residential schools. There were 150 residential schools. We're going to find a whole lot of missing bodies. Bodies that their families were told, yeah, they ran away. Don't know what happened. Sorry, guy. And that this is evidence that that wasn't the case. That these people died or were murdered. If they died, it was neglectful death. And rather than finding out the truth, the residential school people were just like, dig a fucking hole, throw that one in. I was going to use a name, but they didn't. They used numbers. The residential school thing is horrifying. And it's very, very fresh for the Indigenous people because this is just happening. Like this week was that one in... I can't remember the name of the town now. It's got a bunch of S's. This is fresh. It's new, and it's a hurt that they've been prepared for because it was the Indigenous groups in the areas that have been going to the Bureau of not Bureau of Indian Affairs, that's America, the Indigenous Affairs, and saying like, hey, we have this feeling like hundreds of people who went to these schools from our community didn't come back, and we feel like we're being lied to. And they've been sharing, word of mouth, the stories of, yeah, we knew that, there were bodies in this location because, our elders, when they were kids, were digging those fucking holes and putting those bodies in because, like, a nun's gonna fucking dig a hole. That's why you've got indigenals. So this is no shock to them, but it still is shock to them to see the reality of it and to have your fears confirmed is terrible. Probably not a time to be like, go Canada, we're so super neat and nifty. I feel like Canada has done a really good job for a really long time of delaying owning this shit. And I think that delay is no longer working for them. So I wrote a thing on Facebook and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to celebrate Canada Day. I'm hopeful that next year I'll be celebrating Canada Day in a different fashion. And that will be celebrating a year of actual truth and actual reconciliation. A year where we've done a lot more than just talk about stuff. Where we've actually had action speak louder than words. A year where we've gone to Indigenous communities, both reservation communities and city communities and said, we have some catch up to do to make things better. What's our, what can we do to help? How do we build you up? And if that happens in a year, maybe I will feel okay with celebrating Canada Day, because then maybe I'll have something to be proud of. Maybe I'll have something that isn't a shock and an embarrassment to me. I don't feel good about celebrating Canada Day right now. That's all there is to it.